I'm Gab, he's Jules. Blue skies over West London. Blue are still up north in Manchester because Manchester City have been crowned Premier League champions for the fourth time in a row. Nobody in the 134 years of the English top flight has ever won the title 4 times in a row. Dating back to who won the inaugural title? Do you know?
Preston North End.
Preston North End. Very, very good. Who... Jules, we're going to get into that. Obviously, we're going to lead the show with this. I think the final match day, I found it to be incredibly anticlimactic.
We knew it.
We knew it. And look, and I tell myself, well, it's better than when they win the title with 3 games to go. Fair enough.
Yeah.
There was that moment because City go 2-0 up. Arsenal somehow concede a goal, and then there's that moment when Tomiyasu scores, almost at the same time. You get the Kudus improbable, Klaus Fischer-esque overhead kick.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, maybe we just need 2 goals for something exciting to happen.
Yeah.
And
no.
But no.
Yeah,
and who is it who resolves it? Rodri.
Again, who Phil Foden has been amazing this season, of course, for Manchester City, scoring those first 2 goals in the key game against West Ham. Been outstanding when KDB wasn't there, when KDB was there. Super impressive, really. But there's also a great case to make for Rodri to be the player of the season, to be again Manchester City's talisman. The games they lost, he was not playing, including away at Arsenal, obviously, in the league. So he still has this incredible unbeaten run while playing for this team in the Premier League, which is just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, unless they play Real Madrid in the Champions League and then Rodri or no Rodri, they're out. But
but in the league, the record is catching up with Sol Campbell, who owns the record for most competitive games.
I didn't even know this thing was
league.
a thing, but anyway.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I knew about the Rodri thing. It just seems kind of fugazi to him. I don't need it to tell me that he is... In my mind, he's Manchester City's most irreplaceable player, and I think that's pretty obvious. I thought it was fitting that between him and Foden, that they were the 2 guys who scored.
Yeah.
Because for me, this title is about, if we have to single out individuals in what is very much a collective, those 2 guys stood head and shoulders above the rest. And if you told me, and you said, oh, Gab, the 2 key men, if you're going to pick out 2 key men for City this season, and their names won't be Erling or Kevin or Bernardo or whatever Ederson's first name is, I would say, come on, Jules. But no, but that's what happened.
Yeah, although Rodri, you could say, was maybe as well the most important and irreplaceable player last season too. But yeah, you're right. Certainly to see Foden reaching that level was very, very impressive.
Now, the naysayers are going to look at this and they're going to point out, and I think we have to report this because it's a fact, they're facing 115 charges, financial charges. The hearings, we think it's going to be November, but... they've set a date. They won't tell us what the date is, whatever. There is a possibility, if they're found guilty, that they're going to unleash the hounds of hell on them. And that there is a possibility that Manchester City could get relegated, that all their titles could be stripped. Yeah. Not just relegated, they could be out of the Football League altogether. Yeah.
They could also be innocent, and they could have nothing.
Well, they could be found not guilty.
Yeah, not guilty.
I think at this stage, this stuff is so complicated. Innocent, guilty. It's just more like, are they going to be found guilty or not guilty? I said this last year when they won the treble. I'm going to repeat it now. Assuming the worst case scenario, assuming that all the charges are proven and they've cheated, the advantage that they gained, it's not like in terms of resources, in terms of wage bill, in terms of spending over the years. It's not like they're 2x, 5x, 10x the competition. They are comparable, certainly comparable, in some cases inferior to some of the biggest clubs in Europe. And they're comparable, or have been comparable, to Manchester United, to Liverpool, to Chelsea, to the other big clubs. It's been in the same ballpark. It's been more. So I think it's worth remembering that more than one thing can be true. Yeah. The people running the club, Guardiola, Begiristain, and the players have done a phenomenal job. Despite this stuff in the background.
Yeah, which was before the Guardiola era. I know if they built the foundation with that. So if they prove guilty, of course, it would have an impact on what we see now. But this is still the greatest team that we've ever seen in English football.
Wow, that's a big statement. When
Nobody has won 4 in a row, so I don't see another team that could be better than them after they just won 4 in a row.